Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 1933. I hope you can hear me. You can, hopefully. And we are back here for Project Athena, a little Pulp Cthulhu Chaosium 7th edition, Call of Cthulhu, fueled, powered psychosis. And we are in the home stretch of a tale that has been told both in 2018 and, of course, in 1933. But we have a long way to go and a short time to get there, my friends. And the only way to get eastbound and down is to talk to everybody, but to do so expeditiously. So I will, as I always do, look directly up. I will ask our resident psychic for her name, rank, and serial number. But for that, it is the player's name, the character they're playing, and how do they feel tonight. Lauren?
Oh, hi. I'm Lauren. I'm that saucy ginger over on Twitter, she, her pronouns. And here I play Miss Sabella Maria Abs at Bob's Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore in the beautiful Lower East Side of Manhattan. How do I feel? I just gave up the only person I love for the third time in a row, and it was all in vain. So, what do you think?
Personally, I think that means you feel great. And I would like to say that Levi has given everybody advantage. Welcome back, Olympians, as you ascend again to the great Mount Olympus. And speaking of greatness and ascending, we will go directly over to my man, Strider. Strider, we've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, my friend. So name, rank, and serial number. Who are you? Who are you playing? And how do you feel, my friend?
I feel ascended, as you said. We are ascending onto Olympus, and as we gather here today, our Cthulian Sabbath, I would like to take one quick moment to read to you from the book of Elijah. And in the year 1933, Elijah and the Olympians that were with him looked upon the wreckage of the truck that they smote on the mountainside. And Elijah spoke unto them, 19. For 19 was roughly the number of things that he smote in his quest. You see, Greg, that passage is an allegory. It means Elijah has two advantages. Top 5 smooch of all time in his front pocket, and he's ready to kick some butt. My name's Strider. I'm playing the con man Elijah. I'm hyped up for this. Let's do it.
My friend, that is fantastic. And as we continue on our Cthulian Sabbath, we drop straight down to my man, Steve. Steve, same questions, my friend. Long way to go, short time to get there. Name, rank, and serial number, which is who are you are you playing, and how do you feel?
How are you doing, Gage? I play D. White Burke. My name is Stevon Nelson, and I am happy to be here. I'm thankful to see everybody. It's been a long while. I had some time to think about it. And, actually, Sawyer said something on the roof to Greta one time about Dwight being maybe the most selfish person and probably should have died at some point. And I sat there and I said, first I laughed it off. And I said, you know what? He may have a point. He might be the selfishest person in the game. So we'll see how that goes.
I like that we've got a revelatory moment here as there is some introspection from the sniper. Instead of looking through the scope, he is looking instead on a lens upon himself. And as we drop straight down to the leader of the Olympians, my friend Allison. Allison, I will ask you what I asked everybody else because we have a long way to go. A short time to get there. These country roads, they wind. Who are you? Name, rank, and serial number. Who are you? Who are you playing? And how do you feel?
Hey, everybody. It's Allison, and I play, as you well know, Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, aviatrix extraordinaire, princess of the skies, America's flying sweetheart. And, I'm feeling pretty good, I think. I'm a little confused. I'm Kate here, right? A little confused, a little uncertain, which for longtime Project Athena fans means probably something's going to get blown up tonight.
That's a good place to end it because that's the truth. And if we're sending it from the truth of violence and emotional explosion, there's no better person to pick up that baton than our last Olympian. And we will finish off everything. We have a long way to go and a short time to get there, Lindy. Name, rank, and serial number. Who are you? Who are you playing? How do you feel?
I'm Lindy at Laugh Love Lindy. I will be playing Dr. Greta von Krauss. She is a scientist slash doctor extraordinaire. I'm feeling incredibly nervous, and I'm so excited and nervous. But Greta is also a little unsure of herself, but determined. She's feeling very determined to get stuff taken care of and just get this all over with.
Okay, hold on. Before we continue, everybody else just take 5 for a second. I have just one quick question to ask, because when we last left our Olympians, we probably had the most profound emotional response, barring maybe the Country Roads, Road Less Traveled episodes for Greta, where she engaged in what was defined by both role and narrative as a top 5, top
Yes.
3, if we're being picky, all-time kiss. With Elijah Sawyer. Is this emotionally compromising, or is this something that's creating the state that Dr. Greta von Krauss is currently finding herself in? I'm curious. I inquiring minds want to know.
Well, it's definitely part of the reason she wants to get this finished up with, so they can actually get to someplace. And also, she did have a bit of an emotional moment with Sabella. She changed her mind about what she was going to do, because Sabella screamed and she didn't like it. So she's feeling more emotional than she'd like. But
almost human.
I know. What's with that?
So as we get into that, we have already talked to all of our players. The only thing left to do is, of course, Legion. Our Legion of Olympians currently in chat. If you would like to affect the game as Levi has, you may look down below and you will see different ways to contribute to the narrative. You can help, you can hurt, you can shape it in a way that leaves a sentence of your own in this story. That is why we do it. And it has been fantastic with the contributions that we have received so far. So please sit back, watch, engage, whatever you would like to do. But as we like to make sure that we kind of streamline our recap process a bit here and get into the new cap of everything that's happening here on Project Athena, instead of a full recap of the last episode, I will simply be reading the epitaphs or the gravestones or grave markers of the characters should things have gone just slightly, or the roles maybe not as in their favor, or the chat not as benevolent last time. So I will read off a way that each of the characters could have died last time, and I will end by reading the grave marker for our cliffhanger. So everybody, sit back, get ready as we delve into our latest episode of Project Athena, Last Rites, and our gravestones. Here lies Cato Callahan. The skin. I couldn't catch my breath. Here lies Dr. Greta von Krauss. Guys, I found Rommel. Here lies Sabella Marie Ives. Well, friends, the good news is Dwight missed the crown. Here lies Dwight Burke. My pup didn't show up. Here lies Elijah Sawyer. I'll be damned. Jack shot back. And here lies last episode's cliffhanger. The doctor has her hands full as soon as time permits. The mastermind revealed that the project was a recruiting tool. The pilot drew iron. The con man shot the mastermind. The Pope of Malibu gave Dwight another chance. The sniper shot the serpent crown after the psychic agreed to save the world with it. HG said that all the windows were open. And Phobos said she was coming, and that the Country Road Olympians were coming with her. But as we drill back into the sands just north or just south of Jerusalem, we are in a valley. There is a smoldering, smoking heap just below. As the truck that carried Cato Callahan and Jack Kilgrave, several Nazis, and of course the aforementioned and now broken crown, taking it back to Jerusalem. It's smoking at the bottom of this valley 80 feet below. The majority of the Olympians are staring at one another. Jack Kilgrave, their handler, their mentor, their former leader, bleeding from a wound sustained by Elijah Sawyer. Several hundred yards off, the sniper, Dwight Burke, who just shot the artifact, the serpent crown, from the head of a comrade, the head of Sabella Ives, rests in the dirt. His gamble, his all-in bet having been cashed in. And so, as the sands blow and swirl, and as the world decides what to make of this lost artifact, I will start a clock. Olympians, what will you do?
Elijah's gonna yell out, Jack! We're even. He sees the crown's been destroyed, so he just takes his gun, tosses it onto the ground. Since tensions are high, he's not going to participate in friend shooting.
Sabella is looking down at the shards or whatever's left of this and kind of picking them up and trying to put them back together, and then looking over at, she can't see Dwight from where she is, but she sees Elijah has a gun and Greta has a gun, and so she just looks right into Greta's eyes and just stares at her.
Greta putting her gun back into her bag. Just boop. She doesn't want to shoot anybody either. And she's going to kind of, noticing Sabella staring at her very, almost embarrassedly, but definitely awkwardly. I did not like to see you in such pain. Sabella, there is another way.
She just brings her hand up to the blood where she's been cut by the thing being shot off and just wipes some of it away.
Kate kneels for a moment where Sabella is with the shards. Belle, we're going to find another way.
There wasn't one.
Just because we don't know it doesn't mean we can't find it. Now, we're going to find another way. And with that, Kate stands and runs back to that motorcycle where the radio is to see if I can tune into that transmission that was coming through.
What about the one that Dwight heard as well? He would probably run for that one as well.
Shifting a bit to the couple hundred yards away from this kind of congregation of Olympians, Dwight, you're almost out back on the desert floor. You're looking down into the valley again, and the kind of archaic handheld cradle phone that you heard the message through turns to sand in your hands.
Shifts his head and he's like, nothing around him. Like,
the man that was there talking to him is gone as well.
He starts heading back toward the group.
Jack?
Okay.
What's Jack doing?
Jack is weeping.
I don't understand, Doc.
The West Virginia people, the people we left, they survived. They wanted to come and assist with what is going on, but they couldn't unless we destroyed the crown.
But the crown was keeping him safe.
Nine.
How do you know that?
We've seen Bruce and Hans. They appeared very briefly. And Ruth, well, she perished, and Hans, he disappeared again.
They were traps. Remember? That's what she said. She said they weren't real.
I don't believe that. If they weren't real, how could they exist in this world? Flesh and blood.
Are you sure they were?
I tried to save Ruth's life, but she was too far gone with illness.
So she lied?
Seems so, perhaps. I do not know for certain, but they cannot be not real.
I don't know what I believe nowadays. Shit's crazy.
Yeah.
But I believe in people. And we're not going to let you become the next tyrannish or whatever that was. I'm not good at making friends. So.
Same.
Gonna hold on to them.
And it's obviously only a temporary fix. Perhaps we can find a way to permanently close the door rather than having to swap bodies every few hundred years.
Do I hear this?
You're still too far away.
Okay.
But Jack hears this. It wasn't a couple hundred years. I wore that thing from 1864 to 1915.
So, less than a century?
I was gonna do it. I was doing it.
It don't matter now. Everyone make a spot hidden check for me, including Dwight.
Oh no.
Dang. Hard success.
Fail.
Regular success.
Hard success.
Okay, all of you with the hard successes. A couple things here. As Dwight, you are walking underneath the blistering sky of this barren land, you notice that the sky begins to darken in hue. It's moving from a cool blue to the sovereignty of purple. It's deepening as if it's a autumnal twilight and not a midday. It has hints of red in it, but it is purple. And as you're walking back into the valley, Dwight, you turn your head for a moment, looking at the sky, and when you turn it back, you actually witness a plant sprouting out of the desert floor through the hard pack. And as it sprouts up, a strange fruit dangles from it, ripening quickly as if sped up along some type of nature's timeline. And because of your spot hidden, you would recognize it as something that you all saw when last you were inside the Dreamlands, when last you fought the Yellow Death. And you watch the horizon as more green appears as the world begins to change.
What are we gonna do?
Ain't nothing to do. You're giving them what they want. They can get through us now and get to all the other places, all the other Earths that they've been wanting to. We held them for 2,000 years. We gave it to them in an hour.
And you really think we're going to stand here and let that happen?
What are you going to do about it, Mr. Sawyer?
Reckon I'm going to put an end to it.
From over in the rocks, just 10 feet above the position that you're in, you hear, Guten Tag. Didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I can see the sky from where I am. And I think that we should talk.
Herr Rommel?
Ja?
What is it you wanted to speak about?
Oh, I wanted to know if we were going to kill each other. Or if perhaps there's another alternative.
I say we let him talk.
I am open to listening to suggestions.
From the position of the rock, you see something fly out, metallic. It drops well short. It wasn't thrown at your position. And when it lands, you see the machine gun, the MP38 that he had been using. The barrel is horrifically bent on it. And you can tell that whatever happened on his side of the truck, he was trying to do something when something with his weapon happened. And so it is very apparent that his primary source of death dealing, if he is to be believed, lies functionless on the ground 20 to 30 feet away from you.
Oh, he's dead.
Am I at that radio at this point?
Yeah, you're absolutely, was very close to you.
Oh. So I'm trying to sort of tune back into that frequency that the transmission that came through earlier was on.
Roll me let's do a mechanical repair here. And I believe you have advantage. Do you? No? Yes? Maybe so?
Yes, I do. A hard success.
Okay, with a hard success, as you're working through the transceiver, this thing picked up nothing in this valley, let alone the geographical position you were in, but you're looking to try to find this signal that you had received before, this bit of information that had come to you from a name long since past. And as you are looking for all of this, and as HG's kind of name and sibilance of his voice still rings in your ears, and as you're kind of, you hear bits and pieces of his voice as it pops through. You hear, "You gotta land, Kate. Storm's turned." And you realize these are statements from the past, your past anyway. Transmissions from HG that you have already received. And you can hear him again talking about the windows, all of them being opened, and it reverberates almost as if he is a timed chorus singing a Christmas carol in metered progression. But beneath all of that, with your hard success, you hear a whisper. Kate. Kate.
I click the transceiver. This is Caitlin O'Callahan. Who is this?
Roll me a listen check. There's a ton of static coming through it now.
I'll use, I'm going to use an advantage here.
Just an absolute ton of static drifting through this. And as you continue to hear this reverberation of HG, but these different words, nothing new, nothing in any way that you can pick out from what he's speaking or what he's saying. But you can continue to hear his voice, everything seeming to be a warning, everything seeming to be, watch out, look out. They're all open now. And if there's one thing you can glean from the failures is that what you're listening to doesn't seem to be any different. There's no change in the tone of his voice. Everything is dire.
Can I see Dwight coming back at this point?
You all can, yeah, because he's kind of backlit against the purple sky.
Mr. Burke, get yourself over here and make yourself useful.
Dwight will definitely head toward Kate. And he kind of like, as he goes, Kate, I heard my daughter. And he knows Kate remembers everything from when they've been through for West Virginia. I heard my daughter in the radio, Kate. And that's all he keeps saying to her.
I have no doubt you did. Give me a hand with this. I'm trying to tune it in, but there's a voice back there. I can't quite pull it in.
Can Dwight make a listen check?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have you do a listen check, but it is at this time that the kind of conversation finishes with the person you assume is Rommel. Hello?
We are listening.
Well, I do not wish to engage in any further aggression. I believe that we are in similar boat.
I want to psychoanalysis that.
They're always so polite.
I know. Oh, hard success. What do we Does he sound genuine?
He seems genuine.
Okay.
However, there is an edge to the voice that you would have become, especially Greta would have been aware of, is kind of an underlying white noise or static that you would, anytime that you're trying to glean some type of psychological perspective from somebody, and this isn't a spell, you're not casting Zone of Truth or something.
Yeah.
But you've dealt with the military quite a bit in your prior occupation with the nation state of Germany. You know that they are difficult to read because they have been trained to be difficult to read. You're fairly certain he's being genuine, but that buzz is still there.
Okay. Oh, similar boat. Continue on. Yeah, you're listening.
I'm sure you've noticed the sky.
Yeah.
I have noticed that you have destroyed the artifact.
Yeah.
There's no further need for fighting.
Right. Then what do you plan on doing now?
Well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait for you all to leave. And then I am going to leave in the opposite direction.
What are you planning on doing now that the artifact is broken? Once the sky is purple. What are your next steps, Herr Rommel?
What would you have me say? This is a contingencies that we have planned for. It's one of many variables.
What
But
was
I-
the original plan, Mr. Rommel?
Roll a persuasion or charm or something.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you this, you're going to need a good one.
Okay. I'll use an advantage. Come on, charm. Come on, it puts so many points in you. Wait.
I do enjoy
That's
that.
hard success on the first one. So hard success.
As a scientist, I do enjoy variables. Please go on.
At the sound of Sabella's voice, there is a long pause, an awkwardly long pause of like 30 to 45 seconds where there is definite contemplation. If this were a cartoon, steam would rise from behind the rock face as Rommel contemplated this. And finally, he says, are you familiar with, I do not know what you call them in America, but barrels of beer. You have a barrel and it's full of hops of beer.
Sure.
Do you know when you pound the spigot into it and you twist and let just a little bit of the beer out and you close it?
And you can control it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Well, somebody just busted it open instead, right? So you can't control it. We can't control it.
You see a hand come up and a finger point to the sky. Yes, I'm aware of the busting of the spigot.
Huh. Gotta find a silver lining.
I have a great question. Why shouldn't we bust your spigot?
There's no need to fight anymore. Because if you come at me, one of you will surely die. And I have no reason to kill you, nor do I have desire to do so.
I'm convinced.
I know he's like he was like the bottom of the list. Nobody wants to kill him. Even after shooting Dwight. Like, go ahead.
Greta kind of has like a begrudging respect for him.
Yeah.
She thinks it's kind of mutual.
He almost killed me.
He almost killed me too. You know, he shot me
Fine.
multiple times.
You're
too
shot at
forgiving.
me. And well, I don't know that.
That's too logical.
Which leads me to my next question. Where does everyone stand hit point wise, as a lot of you were blasted or at least dinged up last episode?
I'm full at 27.
I'm 15 of 26.
20 of 21.
10 of 22.
21 of 29.
I will let you know this, Greta, if you are going to make a move to first aid anybody, now might be the time as you are getting out of the first aid and into the medicine check areas.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I also cut out for a second. I heard Sabella's, but I didn't hear everybody else's.
I'm at 10.
10. Who was the lowest?
Elijah's lower.
Elijah's hurt, yeah.
My wounds are fresh.
Okay. Yeah, Greta will she'll start making first aid checks on people.
When you go up to Sabella, she's got the coin out, whatever it is now, and she's kind of looking out over the cliff between that and staring at the coin.
Is it a coin like the coin me and Sawyer have?
No,
no.
the snake staff when it coiled
Oh,
out.
that one. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's what she's looking at.
Here's one for Sabella.
Thanks.
Here's one for Sawyer.
What does that mean?
Feel better, babe. You get 1 HP and you can start healing
Yeah,
regularly.
thank you.
And then Kate needed one too. So Kate will let her. This will be Kate's. And then Dwight. There you go.
Everybody gets 1 HP and
I
can
guess I'll heal Jack Hellgrave too. You have a band-aid. There you
Jack gets 1. Elijah gets 3, though, from the extreme.
Nice. Greg, does the snake staff look any different? Is it like something going on with it?
Roll me a power check.
Regular success.
It's initially when the crown was destroyed, it went almost inert. It froze, but now you can see that it's kind of has some of that internal malleability, like that movement that you had felt before. It's almost as if it's returning to the form that it had been.
Oh, and, like unfurling?
Yeah. It's kind of coming out of that circular tail to tip mouth type of disc formation that it was in. And it's not, completely it's almost like a roll of tape that's kind of pulled a little bit open. It is also to this that awesome, Pope. It's almost as if when you're looking at this and it's starting to move, Sabella, as you're kind of off and you've narratively put yourself at a distance from some people, you see that Jack is looking at it as well.
Something to add?
At this point, Greta would be working on him. It shouldn't be doing that. Moving still.
No, it shouldn't.
Mm-mm.
What? Do you know what that means?
I haven't the foggiest.
Jack doesn't know everything he's talking about. Big surprise.
Are Dwight and I working together able to get any more out of the radio?
It continues to bleed these warnings of static. You hear different partial phrases from HG come through, but you don't hear anything that seems to be nothing new. It's nothing that you can put together as a sentence or a declaration. Everything just seems repeated, but it has that dire tinge to it, that warning, that warning sign, warning.
Nothing I can listen
tonality.
To. Nothing I can really focus in on.
You don't know what you're listening to because this is the first time you've heard this voice, so it requires a more of an in-depth success than what you've gotten. But there's something there, obviously, but there's just nothing to glean from it.
All right, we don't got time for this. We got to get out of here, Dwight. We gotta move at least. Find some place we can hunker down and figure out our next steps.
Dwight has like desperation in his eyes. We have to find them. Please, Kate, please.
Dwight, focus. We need to get back to the city or something. Somewhere where we can defend ourselves. It's not here in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, Dwight's like, okay. Yeah, he's kind of like trying to shake, he has no clue. He agrees completely with Kate.
Where are we going? I popped up in a basket 15 minutes ago. I don't even know where the hell I am.
Can I snap too? Kind of.
Everybody roll a spot hidden for me too, please, as you're in the bottom of the valley here.
Oh.
Ooh,
success.
Hard success.
Somebody got a critical. I don't know who it was.
It's Kate.
Hey, nice.
Pilot's eyes.
Kate, as you're looking around, pleading with this, it's time to move, it's time to go, we must do something, we got to get back to the city. You're the first to look up and you see 1, 2, 3, 4 splashing against the purple sky, these green tinged flight pods as they are heading back in the direction where you came from. They don't make sound as they fly, but they leave this trail of green behind them as they zip and it's vaguely reminiscent of Thomas Mueller and how he used to take to the skies, and of yourself when possessed of his pack. But as you're doing all of that, a voice filters down from the rocks. They're looking for me. I can intercept them and tell them to stand down.
Stand down from what?
From
What are they
killing you,
doing?
Miss O'Callahan.
They're the least of my worries right now.
Tactically, they should be your... Well, you have several.
Why don't you just help us?
I'm afraid I cannot do that. That would be treasonous.
Does he seem earnest, at least, in what he's saying? Or is he just trying to worm his way out so he can not be hurt?
Elijah, in much the same way that Greta had this buzz in the back of your head, as Elijah doesn't really have a great respect for people in positions of power, he seems to be saying all the things in the right way and saying them the right way to a con man's ears. And that in and of itself sends up a flag for you. He's saying things the right way for a con man's ears.
Mr. Rommel, I'm sure you're a brilliant tactician, but I can't help but notice you're the one standing here with your ass in your hand. So why don't you just pipe down for a second? Dwight, where are we going?
Dwight kind of like, any kind of like recollection, he's like, we need to get to the city. We need to get somewhere out of here. He's right. We can't not stay in the open. They're going to come for us. We got to get in that Jeep. We have no vehicle. There's literally no vehicle, is there? Except a stupid motorcycle.
You got a motorcycle with a sidecar. And it's not stupid. It's awesome.
Wait,
Dwight's, like all Dwight's failures, like come back to him at like 1 minute of all the shit he's done in like the past 10 minutes.
What happened to the Jeep? How did I miss that?
Oh, Dwight shoved it into the other chair and they both went
Me and Kate
over.
are having a very private conversation right now. You two are not involved in it. I don't know what happened to the Jeep, Kate.
Why would they still be trying to kill us?
Yeah, Kate, as it kind of comes to you, as you look around, you realize that the only vehicle on this dirt desert road is a motorcycle with a sidecar, and the truck and the Jeep that had previously been here.
That damn German over there took that Jeep.
I did not such thing. Oh, it's the other attempt. Okay.
I mean, we're
I
an hour
didn't
north.
see so.
We're an hour north of Jerusalem by car. Couple hours on foot.
We need. What does Kilgrave think, Jack or Kate? You know, he's kind of like doesn't want to even say Jack's name. He doesn't want Jack to hear. What do you think he thinks?
I think he thinks we're all dead. Ain't that right, Jack?
Jack's eyes have not left the serpent staff.
Yeah.
We could try.
We need to get Rommel.
We can try what, Jack?
We never tried with just one, but maybe it could slow it down. He looks up at the sky. Might not give us years, but maybe it'll give us a day, a week, a month. We just use the staff.
Use it how?
We were going to use the crown and the staff. Make someone into the tyrannish like I was, like me like the others were. We can buy some time.
That's a good idea.
Well, it's an idea anyway.
He stands up and he's still holding his side where he was shot. We gotta get up to the desert floor. We gotta be able to see all the 4 points, north, south, east, west. We can't see them down here. Sabella, you wanna try this?
Sure, let's just move anyway. We need a better vantage point if we want to see what's going on.
All right. Let's go out the other way where we were headed. And he starts moving in the direction that Dwight had returned from.
Okay, is that gonna pass where Rommel is?
Rommel is an elevated position. Yes, it's going to pass close to Rommel. But he's already, I mean, it's the difference of 10 feet at this point.
Right. Okay, I just clocked Dwight. Try covering me this time.
You said that to me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Burke. I bring Cleo and Tom with me. Because they're still here.
Tell him to go get the German.
Not
The German has never actually tried to shoot me, unlike the rest of you.
I wasn't shooting at you.
Sabella, I'd never shoot you. We have to save.
Roll a power check, Sabella.
Okay. What? Hard success.
As Sabella says this, he hasn't actually tried to shoot me. The two serpent dogs move to either side of her, and you notice that they don't have hackles to raise or backs to kind of bristle, but if there is a snake dog equivalent, they are doing it as they are kind of healing beside Sabella.
Makes like scales pop up a little bit.
I've killed many a snake dog, Sabella.
I've blown up more than one person's brain with my mind.
Did actually talk about this. Not right, not the time. Okay.
I think mine's scarier. And I start walking away with Jack.
The dogs hesitate for a second, and then they turn and pad to catch up to Sabella.
Oh, Kate, and I'll hand her the jetpack. That is for you. I don't.
Oh. Well, I never thought I'd see that again. She kind of, as she's walking, does a quick inspection to make sure that it's ready to fly. Notices up at the top along one side where she'd kind of hand-painted bell along the side in yellow. Kind of wipes it off a little bit, throws it on her back and straps in.
Oh, that's for me to have to carry.
And welcome, Raiders. We are doing a little Pulp Cthulhu set in 1933. If you like Indiana Jones, sit back. If you don't, sit back. It gets crazier even than that. Let's do it. So, as you put on the Thomas Mueller created jetpack and pull it over your shoulders, Cato Callahan, you're able to clip it in, and it seems to fit the same. When you check to see how much of the green substance, the brick that it has in it, it seems to have a full canister. The last that you've added into it as of it has not been removed. So it is at full capacity.
As Jack and I are making our way up higher, why didn't you tell me any of this?
That's not the way it works.
How does it work?
We gotta know that you'll be willing to do it. You reach your own conclusions. We can't force you into doing any of this, Sabella, and that's what we would be if we came up and said, you have got to save the world. That's
not what I said. I said, why didn't you just ask?
Because no one asked me, Sabella.
That's a stupid reason not to ask, Jack.
It is. But that's the way things have been done.
You
am I to
really
change
are
it?
old, aren't you?
I am. Perhaps too old.
I wish you had asked me before you fell asleep.
I was ready to. I had to be certain, though.
Did you know I fell in love, Jack?
With the Italian, right?
Yeah. And I think I've given him up 3 times now to help you.
Yeah.
And I just think that you should know how it feels. And I'm
I
going to
do.
reach out and grab his hand. I don't think he does.
Without a roll, and because it is at the surface of his mind, you see Joseph Dietrich killing a boy that you know to be Jack's son. He rips his hand away. I know what it's like to give up stuff, Sabella.
I don't believe you.
I wish I were lying.
You could have just asked.
But I didn't.
I won't do it again. I think 3 times was enough for me.
Well, my dear Miss Ives, at least you still have someone to give up.
She just keeps walking.
Gotta hurry. This, the sky seems to be getting deeper. As Sabella and Jack reach the desert floor outside of the Crescent Valley, who's following, who isn't, and in what order are you doing this?
I'm right behind.
Elijah's trying to talk to anybody. If he can get Dwight pulled back a little bit.
Wait, Greta, Elijah, huddle.
Yeah, Dwight's probably looking behind it at the rocks and Rummel. Does he see that he's peering over? Is there any way he can tell? How does he even know we're there?
When you get about 30, 40, 50 feet away from the position that you heard the voice, you see a tendril of cigarette smoke coming out from behind the rocks.
I know a thing or two about snakes, and he's just trying to save his own skin.
You don't think we can let him get back?
He heard everything we were gonna say, or about the other Olympians.
He would make an awful good prisoner. Or a dead man.
I'm all for it. He's gonna be a thorn in our side later if we don't do something now.
Can you distract him? He looks at Greta.
What kind of distraction are you wanting? Dwight.
You guys like to talk.
Okay, is that kind of distraction? Yeah, I can do that. I can attempt to. There are various degrees and levels of distraction. So I can ask if you would require medical assistance.
What do you think? You go one side, I go the other?
Yeah.
Can I notice if he's peering over rocks, looking at us? Do I catch him at any point?
You just see the tendril of cigarette smoke.
And then I know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, you see it. You don't see where it's originating from, but you see it coming up from behind the rocks.
You don't think we can let him get away? He kind of looks at Sawyer like, like he has an idea.
Not my forte. I'm really good at bad ideas, so I can recognize leaving him there is a bad idea.
I'm good at bad ideas too, apparently. All right. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Here's to another bad idea.
I have wunderbar ideas, but I'm in for this fun.
Alrighty. Well, whatever is going on back there.
Right.
Great.
You would notice that the three of Elijah, Dwight, and Greta have stopped.
The
They're
bad
not-
news bears, yes.
Bad
Right.
news.
Yes, the happy-go-lucky, super great, awesome planners have.
We are the Yankees.
Please stop.
Right. So as they're sitting there talking, we have
Plague,
Jack, Sabella, and Kate that are kind of in a secondary cluster, and the dogs are there too.
Great. I'm gonna drop back and take Kate's arm. Katie.
Yeah, Belle.
I'm really sorry.
For what?
Being unsure, I guess.
Belle, I don't know how anybody can be sure of much anything at this point. But
Well, I don't want to. If this works, I don't know how long it'll be. Shorter, I guess, but want you to be happy. I really do. And it's I'm real sorry, but it's not gonna be with me.
Sabella, if this works, then the very first thing you're going to see when you open your eyes is me. And maybe we can talk about this then, all right?
That's strikingly optimistic. But if it takes a while and if I'm not awake and the others get here, will you make sure they're okay?
Yeah, I'll make sure.
And I don't really remember that other place. I don't remember getting married. I don't remember having Marie and Syl. But I don't think in that world or this world that I can remember telling Phil Castillo that I love him. So much. So if you could just tell him, if you see him. And Katie, it might be good for me to take a nap, because if Ruby Foster lied to me and those girls are real and I ever see her again, I'll kill her.
Belle, if I ever see her again, I'm gonna kill her myself. So you don't got nothing to worry about. You don't have nothing to worry about at all.
I know, because you'll be there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Kate's eyes are just fixed on the horizon.
Jack comes up beside Sabella. We gotta try now. I'm sorry.
Sure you are, Jack.
Yeah.
What do we do?
You do what I did. Just go to sleep.
Well, it kind of takes me a long time to get to sleep, usually.
Look at the
I
horizon.
don't have my records.
Look at the horizon, north and south, and east and west, and look up, and look inside. Do that over and over. I don't know if it'll work or not without the crown, but that's all that you do. No words, no magic wands, no potions. Just look at all the points to the heaven and inside.
I'm still holding Kate's arm. Sabella looks at Elijah and then at Dwight. And then she walks up to Greta, gives her a hug. Damn it. Real quick one, because I know she doesn't like it.
You get a surprised kind of like 2 pats on the back. Like, don't really know how to. Wasn't expecting hug, but it's a genuine little hug back.
And she goes back to Kate and wraps her arms around her and buries her face in her neck.
Kate puts her arms around her and kind of gently pulls her blonde curls back from the nape of her neck for a moment and whispers, "I'll tell him, Belle. He'll know. You got nothing to worry about. I'm going to be right here.
Thank you. Yeah, so she'll stand and try to do what Jack said.
Jack will move beside you, and he doesn't touch or direct or command or guide, but he himself turns and looks to the west,
Don't do this.
to the east, north, south, to the heavens. And then he does it over again and over again. He looks back at Kate and motions for her to move to the other side of Sabella.
I do.
We'll make sure you don't fall when you go to sleep. We'll catch you like you all caught me. I'd like everybody except Sabella to roll a spot hidden for me, please.
Boy.
I'm going to take advantage on that. Hard success.
With a hard success, you notice that not only everybody notices that the sky is now almost a like I said before, a sovereign purple, a deep purple. That as you're looking, you begin to see that there is a storm to the north. A very familiar storm, Kate.
I don't say a word. I don't move. Just notice.
Can I speak? Why does it have to be her, Jack?
Because she has the power, Burke. You don't.
Don't do this, Isabella.
Well, you done it before, Jack. Why can't you do it?
Don't do it. Like, Dwight looks at her like he loves Isabella extremely. Do not do this. I've already ruined one plan before. I'll ruin another one. Don't do this.
What else? What else? It's gonna be like it was in Times Square.
How do you know that? Fuck this world. What's this world brought us? What's this world here brought us? Nothing. Fuck this world.
We've been trying to save it. That's all we've been trying to do.
This is not saving it, in my opinion.
Sabella, it's time. It's past time. It's either gonna work or it ain't.
Maybe it'll help.
It'll give us time. Maybe time to figure out another way. Or maybe it won't even work at all, I don't know. But it's the farthest it's ever gone. I think they're almost here.
There's always another way.
Not today, Burke. Dwight, you would be reminded of the words of Al, the person that the Pope of Malibu who appeared to you in the sands, who said rather convincingly, there was another way. No one knew about it, though.
You gotta stop telling me my memory is not the best. There is another way. Thank you. Dwight screams. There is another way, Sabella. There has to be. You cannot. This is not. I've said it. This is not the way.
There is another way, or there has to be.
I was told there was another way.
By whom?
Even if there is another way, we don't have time.
I've been trying to convince her for 5 minutes now. Dwight kind of looks at her like, Sabella.
Is that you trying?
Yeah. Of course it's me trying, Sabella. And he's like, Dwight, like I said, he loves Sabella to death. I mean, if anybody, she is the one that he would protect from all. This is not the way. You cannot do this.
My friends, it is 8:21 Eastern Standard Time.
What does that mean?
At 8:23 Eastern Standard Time, you either start or you don't.
Mr. Burke, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
So what are we going to do? Right now, the sky's purple. You think she's going to save this? You think this is going to stop this?
Have you got a better plan, Mr. Burke?
I don't. Just don't do it.
Do you know something that you have not shared with the rest of us?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
There's another way. I do not know.
Just don't do it. They're coming back. I heard my daughter, Sabella. Fuck this world. Fuck the change. Change it all. Just don't do this. Don't do it. I've said it. Don't do it. I have no explanation for you right now. Let it go. What's it going to do? You're going to go to sleep and we'll be in the same situation. Don't.
Choose.
Fuck you.
Right now.
No.
Kate, tell her don't do it.
The sky
Tell
is
her-
beginning to
tell her-
cinder. The
Tell
storm
her
is here.
don't do it.
You can feel the wind.
Trust me.
It's now or never, Sabella.
I look at Kate.
I don't know, Belle.
I'd like everyone
I don't know.
to make a dodge roll as the storm hits the area.
Hard success.
Extreme.
Everybody is knocked to the ground, even with your hard successes,
With an
Except-
extreme?
except for Sabella Ives. And as you all hit the dirt on your sides and on your backs, and you look up into the purple lightning, much like the storm, in fact, exactly like the storm that ended the flight of the Akron, you see a silhouette of your friend Sabella Ives as her hair blows and she turns, and with the north, south, east, and west, the up is now into the eye of this purple fury. What do you do, Sabella?
I guess I'm gonna try to stop it. No. Yeah, of course she would try to stop it.
Roll me a power check, and everybody that's on your back, roll me a listen check, please.
Can I assist with the power check?
If you tell me how, I will allow it if it sounds cool.
I've been holding her up by the arm. As I go down, I grab her by the hand because I'm not letting go. And she's been in here before. So maybe I can kind of brace her up with my near miraculous willpower.
Okay. I like where you're going with this. And here's what I will say, Cato Callahan, America's flying sweetheart. I will let you crit this roll with her. Because here's how you can do it. You must call upon your legion. And in so doing, you must spend 20 luck points.
That takes me below 30, Greg.
You don't say.
Let me just make clear what it is we're rolling for here. If this succeeds, what do we expect to happen?
We expect the serpent staff to work.
And Sabella to go to sleep.
That seems to be the plan.
I'm not, just from a meta perspective, I'm not sure that I want to make that decision by myself. Is this what we're doing?
She thinks the world is ending. I mean...
Okay.
Kate's seen the world end before.
I've been there.
She got some insight.
That's right. Yeah, am I seeing something recently familiar here with all of this?
No, this is not similar at all to the collapse of the Malibu world of Jack Parsons. His was consumed by fire and godlike natural disasters. This, you're not even sure what's happening here, other than you guys are enveloped now in the purple storm that you witnessed in the very first episode of Project Athena.
First time for Greta.
First time for Greta.
And what do I think will happen to Sabella if this fails?
With 20 luck being spent, I will actually reveal the curtain and say it will not fail.
I'm going to save the luck.
And I will roll with advantage. Yay. The same roll.
The same roll. So as you look north, south, east, and west, I would like you to roll a d10 for me, Sabella. I would now like you to roll a d30 for me. The first is the number of hit points you lose. The second is the number of sanity points you lose. As in the arms of Cato Callahan and Jack Kilgrave, Sabella, you go rigid. And for those of you that are closest, Jack and Kate, you see that her eyes, as they roll and lose the pupil, the storm of indigo rages in them as well. But the serpent staff that had coiled into a partial length instead curls up her arm, the head resting in her palm. The fangs descend, but they do not pierce. They wrap around and between fore and middle, ring and pinky, as the fangs of lower and upper jaw form almost a glove, and as it bleeds into her flesh, the rigid nature lends to sleep as the eyes close. And much like the savannah siren before her, the tyrannish is reborn. You feel her go limp in your arms, Kate.
And the storm?
Raging.
I move to shield her with my body. And over the storm, I yell to Jack, "What now?"
It's never gotten this far.
Best guess.
I don't know. Dwight, you were the only one to succeed in your listen check. And as the raging of the storm continues, you are the only one to hear the roar of a motorcycle as you look around and see the desert fox and his namesake scatter as he is riding the bike hell-bent back towards the direction in which you all came from, the dig site that Jack, under the name of Thomas Kent, had excavated the Serpent Crown. He is several hundred yards away, but you are Dwight Burke.
You know what I'm going to do.
I always have to ask. It's my job.
How's that?
It's pretty good. What are you aiming at?
What are you going to give me? I would aim at the motorcycle tank if you're going to give me a hard success. If you're not, then I'll shoot again.
Oh, no. What I'm saying is I'm not telling you hard hits. I'm telling you what are you aiming at, and then we'll see what happens.
Dwight would aim probably at the tank. The biggest object.
You're aiming for the bike itself as opposed to the rider.
Yeah. You know what? Dwight will aim for the tire. How's that?
Sure.
The front tire.
I need to know how many shots you can fire to. I will not tell you. The distance is so great, you're going to have a small window to fire. So you either fire one shot or you fire two. What are you going to do?
Well, I fired the first one.
Yep.
Did that do anything?
Like I told you, you fire both or you fire one.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Not gonna fire anymore.
Right at the gas tank.
Okay, so with the storm as it's raging, you see that you strike something. It is not the bike and it is not the tire. You're not sure whether it's the rider or the ground next to the rider, but he peels out of your range. The bike's still continuing as a column of sand marks his passage.
Okay. I accept that.
Alrighty. As you are all sitting there, and as Dwight's shot goes off, another shot fires, and you see the chest of Jack Kilgrave open up.
Who shot?
He looks down in disbelief at the gaping wound in his sternum. Oh no. He falls to the ground.
That was a regular success on a spot hidden to see where the shot came from.
In this storm, with the sand whipping up, no idea. As all of you have the opportunity to look around if you want, with the exception of Dwight, whose gaze was focused elsewhere.
Elijah just lies down. There's bullets swinging about.
Yeah.
Kate, you have Sabella's full weight in your arms right now, and you guys are both still standing. What would you like to do as Elijah hits the deck?
Still standing? I thought I got knocked down by the... Or did I
Yes,
stand
but
back up?
You stood back up to help Sabella because she was still standing to do her thing. So
Yeah, then we're going to be on the sand, and I'll put my body between wherever I think that shot came from and her.
Yeah, Greta's trying to block some of the storm from Elijah at least, because
okay,
he injured.
okay, so you're both trying to shield your injured friends in one way or the other. I'd like you both to roll luck rolls for me, please.
Oh, okay. No.
You're pretty sure you have them shielded.
Great.
Dwight, you turn around in time as you hear the residual shot echoing through the hail of the storm. And as you turn and look, you see Jack drop to the ground, his chest opened up. I would allow you at this point, you may roll a spot hidden, not to figure out where someone is, but what direction they shot from, because you're a sniper.
Pardon.
Further up towards Jerusalem, you would think, in the direction from which the storm arrived, and carried upon the winds of the storm, you hear, well,
Elephant gun.
I thought I'd find you all here.
The
But
white guy
still-
goes wild. No. And he sees Jack drop. And he's like, no. He kind of goes for Jack.
Jack's still alive. He is fading.
Doc, help him. Help him.
Greta, you know there's no way to help him.
Nothing I can do right now.
Is he close enough to where I can talk to him?
That's a death wound.
You can talk to him. You're not sure if he can answer.
Jack, what do I have to do to get her out? What do I have to do to wake her up, Jack?
You see him, his hands kind of flick. He can't raise his arms, but you see his lips moving.
Okay.
Anything, Jack. Anything.
That's a success on a read lips roll, my friend.
He's saying, win. And Jack Kilgrave dies in the sands around Jerusalem.
I've heard that before.
Haven't we all?
Certainly.
So, Olympians, what should we do? It has been a long time. I haven't seen you in so long.
He's visible now?
You have no idea where he is.
Can I do a listen check?
I'd like everyone before that to roll a luck check, and please tell me who gets the highest roll.
Okay.
Do I roll?
17.
No, you do not roll, Sabella.
Did I succeed? I cannot believe I succeeded.
You
Holy
did.
fuck.
Highest lowest or highest
I
highest?
cannot believe I succeeded.
Highest. Who got the highest numerical number?
69.
Oh, fuck you, Greg.
You take 15 damage as a shot from the elephant gun rips into the shoulder of Cato Callahan. You may make me a strength check, or you may go to the ground voluntarily, whatever you'd like to do. You're already on the ground.
I'm
but
on the ground.
As you were talking to Jack, you're going to get blasted away from the scene. You can try to hang where you are or go with the roll.
I want to try to continue to stay between him and Sabella.
Roll me a strength check then.
Well,
Dwight, as you're looking around trying to figure out where it's coming from, Kate comes rolling through the sand, blood spraying across you as you see her roll up, a horrific wound on her shoulder. It seems very similar to the first adventure you had, as there was a similar instance in the jungles that resulted in a shot like this. But as she spins up, she's still alive, I'm assuming. Kate's still alive. As she looks up at you, well, was that one? And you hear a boom, as Dwight, you would understand it to be the ejection of shells.
Can Greta lean over? She's gonna spin two things into her hypo syringe, and I want to stick Dwight with some Rites schnell.
Please get some 9-inch nails ready.
Perfect drug. Okay, yeah, you're able to. You guys are close enough. Right in between where you would be with and as the raging goes on, I will allow you to shtick him if you want to shtick him.
I will stick him with some Blitzschnell.
Last time we were extremes, both of us. Is that anything we can do with that?
It helps going forward. I have it marked down. But you guys both rolled the same thing that you rolled before.
Okay, so
What
I
do
stick
need to
him.
roll? Strength?
Yeah, did we do strength?
No, I think we did
Con.
It was con.
con.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then I will give you my pharmacy roll. Hard success.
Okay, so as the serum goes through you, Lindy, describe what happens when he is stuck.
When you are stuck with Blitzschnell, you show enhanced reflexes and speed, particularly in shooting. However, after the serum wears off, which is a couple minutes or so, depending on my level of success, which I got a good success, that'll probably be about 10 minutes, I think we said. You just get you kind of you feel real sluggish for a few minutes afterwards, as you come off the high, essentially, of just super speed.
We should have put that in. We should not have put that in there.
It's gotta be some negative. There's always side effects to drugs. This is how pharmacies work.
Oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to repeat that since I was muted for the stream. Dwight, you may either stay on the ground and look for the enemy, or you may go up to one knee for a better degree of success, or you may go all the way to a standing position, revealing more of yourself for even a better degree of success to see Lancaster.
Yeah, Dwight would. I'll ask you one question. Can I use Jack's body?
If you stay on the ground, sure.
Yeah, Dwight will stay on the ground. He's going to use Dwight. He's going to literally put his gun over Jack's shoulder for a shield, and he's going to start looking.
Okay, go ahead and roll me spot hidden. There he is. As you look to the north, you see.
Do I have any bullets? Magical?
You don't have any special ones, no.
I know.
I thought he had one.
But
no, I used it to shoot the crown.
Oh, that's right.
But wait a
Greg
minute.
made me. She's made me.
With a spot hidden and extreme, you feel something in your pocket, the same pocket that was as close to that little hairy guy that you talked to in the desert.
Dwight reaches in his pocket.
It is a beautiful blue bullet, and on the side is written Malibu.
Dwight kisses the bullet and loads.
As you load, you see the rest of Lancaster's army pouring out of the area as his legionnaires creep through the desert. You also notice that Lancaster, his face is burned severely on the right-hand side. It is indistinguishable from the left. Much like Harvey Dent in the Batman comics, he is a man of two faces at this point. And as he walks forward, both melted and fresh, with that extreme, I will allow you the following. You see a flash of white and blue in the storm behind them. You hear yelling from inside the ranks of the Legionnaires, and one of them turns to Lancaster and says, "It's the Furies." And that's where we'll end this episode of Project Athena. Yay. Yay. That's right, Max. Fly, you fools. They never run, Max. Ever. This group never runs.
On rare occasion, after fighting first.
I run all the time.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so now let's go around to all of my friends. We will go in reverse order, starting with the good doctor who just did the shticking. Lindy, how are you? Where can we find you online? And how was it getting back inside the skin of Dr. Greta Von Krause?
I love Greta. I'm not fine. This is great. Can't wait for next week. You can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy on Twitch, Twitter, where I play all kinds of tabletop games. You should tune into my channel tomorrow afternoon from starting at 2 p.m. Eastern for last and final installment of The Blood Plague, where terrible, horrible things are going to happen to us. So if you like tonight, you should like tomorrow afternoon. As Jonathan Fry's fantastic, wonderful DM. And then also check out Tuesday nights on my channel where I do Mists of Ravenloft, more horrible, spooky things. But I get to be in charge of the horrible, spooky things, and it's great. So, yeah, I don't know what to think. This is bad. Body shield. Sawyer. The end.
Fantastic. Yes, horrible things are best whenever you have control of the reins. Wouldn't you agree, Allison? How are you doing tonight, my friend, and where can we find you online? Good night, everybody.
Hey, it's Allison. You can catch me at Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y and see all the other things I have going on there. Or if you're not super busy for the next couple hours, you can catch me right here on a very special flashback backstory edition of May Black Roses Bloom, where my sun priestess Sabria Sunashal is going to find something in the tomb of the Jackal Queen. That's like in half an hour, so I need to go like change my clothes.
Gotcha. Me too. Fantastic, my friend. Let's go right up to Steve. Steve, how are you doing? And how was it getting back behind the sights of Dwight's trusty rifle?
We're really screwed right now. So it's going to be real interesting how this turns out. I had a blast. I thought it was great. I don't know what's going to happen here. So follow you guys, follow everybody. Love all of them. And at 9:30, follow Dawn. You guys, amazing show coming up. So have fun. I will see you next week. Great time.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. And yes, next week, a lot of sands going on here. Sands outside of Jerusalem, sands from the Jackal Queen. We'll see. As we drop up to the resident con man who always smells a bad situation and always knows which way to go as far as getting into cover. Strider, my man, how are you doing? And how is it getting back into the many minds of Elijah Sawyer?
Greg, you did a great job with immersion because I have no idea what to do when I feel like I'm in the middle of a fucking hurricane. So I'm really getting into character. I was gonna say Elijah's sitting there just like rubbing his little coin he got from Ruth, like God, Zeus, Odin, Satan, Hades, Dietrich, help me out here and I will never tell another lie. I promise. I have a meta question that I'm going to leave a lot of you to ponder until next week. Since I'm an Olympian, is my Sabella X Kate and Greta X Sawyer fiction really fan fiction?
I shall contemplate this on the Tree of Woe, I think. Speaking of the Tree of Woe, let us jump over to the person that always almost makes me break. Lauren, my friend, how are you? And how was it getting into the 20-foot deep angst of Sabella Ives? Or I can go fuck myself.
Yeah, there it
Okay,
is.
there we go. And see you, everybody.
Yeah, hide far. I can still see your shadow. Keep moving. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm in a mood. I'm at That Salty Ginger over on Twitter. I'm gonna play Bluebeard's Bride tomorrow with Kiana and Charlie and Katie and Summer. People who support me and love me, Greg. And maybe I'll be here next week. Bye.
Sounds boring. You gotta have the angst. And Kiana's gonna tear you apart. I already know.
Be quiet, Greg.
I know it.
Be quiet.
I know it.
Shh.
Okay.
And I quote Kiana from chat. Yeah, Greg, fuck off.
Yeah, Greg.
Check back with me after you get done playing with Kiana. We'll see how bad I am.
I have a list telling you to fuck off, and I've even cited my sources.
Okay. Fine.
I
That's
got
fine.
your,
I see
I
how
got
it
your
is.
back, bro.
I appreciate it.
Shut up, Steven.
Absolutely. Everybody, please check out the Bluebeard's Bride tomorrow. Incredible cast. And Kiana she's just, by her own quote, I believe, Kiana, it was, you're just going to be handing out smooches. There's no horror or mind-bending
All the
fuckery.
smooches.
Right. Yeah. So that's straight from Kiana, everybody. It's going to be awesome. All right. As for me, Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters, stick around. I am going to be dropping the stream for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we are going to be right back with a countdown starting at 9:30 tonight. DM Donathan Fry will be taking us through the Tomb of the Jackal Queen, where Pope will be joining us, and we will be playing different characters, with the exception of Allison, who will be playing her son Priestess, and we are going to flash back a little bit and see what happens when we have backstory come into play. I'm sure I really like my character. I guarantee he's going to die. So please join us here, everybody. Take it easy and chat. You are the absolute best for being engaged in the story. We thank you very much. Hit that follow button if you haven't. Join us on YouTube for back issues, like I'm a comic book writer, back episodes. But everybody else, we will be back here next week as we continue the story of the Olympians, and we reach a conclusion that has been a long time coming. Who will win between Lancaster and the Olympians, especially when Sabella is taking a nap? All right, everybody, until next time.